know what you want from me. It's like you playing a game of Bloody Mary or something. But here I go. Here I go.
Zeno, you killing it.
Emme Rain. Such a shame I gotta do this to you, but you keep poking and prying, so I'ma give it to you. Anytime I see you, know what's up with me. Why you keep on calling my name? What you want from me? Could it be the fortune and fame you gain from energy? A predator is who you be, unbind energy, so we can see that you really weak. Tell your minions stand down, they don't really want this heat. Tell them that this war that we in, it's just you and me. All those curses flow from your grin, I speak it fluently. Talking about what you gon' do to me, I violate you intrusively. Pay your damn bill, that tax lien is waiting patiently. Get the gab is all we see, foot on neck so you can't breathe. Bet you didn't know I was a beast when I ride the beat. Standing 10 toes down in my lane, I don't know defeat. Now I'm calling my energy back to me happily, but actually the savage me is ready for a massacre. Just in case you was confused, that was a wordplay on massacre. Yeah. You want to keep going back and forth? Round for round? Pound for pound? Let's go. Or stand down. You unleashed the beast. First lady. Hey, everybody. Lavette Men here. So this is the first video that I am releasing here on this channel. Hashtag exposing Emme Rain. I finally shared my story, my side of the story, back in August on Facebook. I went live, shared my story, spoke my truth, and then I discovered last month that my video was removed. I didn't get any notifications from Facebook. I was in Panama for my birthday trip, and I was in the room just relaxing and meditating, and I heard Spirit say, go look for that video on your page. And mind you, I'm in Panama, I'm chilling, I'm relaxing, taking in the beautiful views. So I'm like, go look for the video. I'm not thinking about that woman or that video, but I know why I got that whisper. So when I went to pull the video up, it was gone. Um, and for me, that spoke volumes. Emme Rain, you just don't want the truth out there. But I have been putting some things together leading up to this final moment. I decided to just go ahead and create this YouTube channel. And this particular channel is going to be all things related to exposing Emme Rain. Disclaimer, it's in the ticker. Okay, this is not a defamation campaign. This is not a slander campaign. Matter of fact, I had Emme Rain served with the cease and desist for defamation back in 2022. And we'll get into that because I am going to tell the full story from the beginning all the way to today, to present day. Okay. So even after I had her served with the cease and desist, she decided to do another live video in August of 2022, calling my name again. Okay. And telling me to screw my cease and desist. Um, Lo and behold, I did have another one sent. We'll talk about that. Maybe not today, but we'll definitely talk about that as well. So this is just my response. This is my response to the poking and prodding. Matter of fact, that song that you heard at the beginning, yes, that was me. I took it to the studio. Okay, like I said, I've been in the background ever since she came back out in August, calling out my name. I've been in the background working on some things. So this has been, I'm not going to say a long time coming, but this has been something that's been in the works for a minute. All right. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. I don't like to be long-winded because I know when I am, looking to gain information, I just like whoever it is I'm listening to jump right into it. Therefore, I'm that same way. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay. So let's start at the very beginning. Very beginning. When I first connected with Emme Rain. She was actually Lucretia Hayes, the author. All right. At that time, I wrote my first book. So on Facebook, I was sending out friend requests to anyone that had the name author, or had the word author in their name. And that's how I ended up being friends with Lucretia Hayes. Okay. We were friends on Facebook for about 10 years. This just Facebook friends. There was never any exchange. We never commented on each other's posts. I never followed her posts or anything like that. It was just a Facebook connection. Fast forward 10 years later, I was teaching on the law of manifestation in a group that I had at that time. And lo and behold, M. Rain popped up in my feed. She posted a picture of her Maserati, and she was talking about how she manifested the Maserati. Mind you, I was already in the space of teaching and speaking on manifestation. So, of course, it caught my attention. When I realized, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, this is actually Lucretia Hayes. Um, and her M Ring page was tagged, or Lucretia Hayes' page was tagged in her M Rain post. So that's how it ended up on my timeline. So I clicked on the name M Rain. I saw it was her, sent her a friend request. When the friend request was accepted, I'm seeing all of these public rituals. I'm like, what the hell Lucretia got going on over here? But during that time, it wasn't something that I was afraid of, because I was already starting on my spiritual journey. Okay. As soon as I started listening to her lives, I immediately got sucked in and I started spending money right away. And this was around May 2019. I started spending money right away, which was the first red flag that I ignored, but it definitely was a red flag because I don't spend my money easily with people. I have to sit back, watch you, pay attention, research your business, just make sure that you are a credible business, because we know that there are a lot of fraudsters and charlatans out here. But I started spending money right away. Okay. One thing I will say about me though, even if I go into a situation blinded, I don't stay in that space for long. The blinders will come off just as fast as they were put on. So by August of 2019, that's when I started to pull away from investing so much in purchasing products and participating in rituals. So it only took about 3 months for me to realize that something wasn't right. So let's talk about those 3 months. So I first started out by purchasing oils, purchasing products, getting in a class, a class here, a class there. And it wasn't until I paid for the August ritual subscription. Again, this is August 2019. It wasn't until I paid for the ritual subscription for the whole month. So when you pay for a monthly ritual subscription, you're included in every ritual that is done for that particular month, right? So by the time we got to the second ritual for August, I was done. I remember sitting up at my work desk. I had no energy. I was literally, and I'm not exaggerating, I was sliding out of my chair because I had no energy, not enough energy to sit up and do my work. The only thing that saved me was me giving my ancestors a fresh glass of water. And I noticed every time I did that, that gave me a boost of energy. Okay. Now, mind you, I'm new on my journey, but I'm not oblivious. I'm very intelligent. I'm very quick and nimble, and I'm able to identify. I'm able to assess and identify a situation. Let's put it that way. So I knew something wasn't right. This was my first time ritualing, but it's common sense. Now, If I pay to be in a ritual, or if you pay to be in a ritual, and someone is performing a ritual on your behalf, sending you energy, it's almost like getting a B12 shot. It's supposed to be a boost of energy. You're not supposed to feel depleted and drained. That told me that my energy was being sucked and pulled. Now, here's the confirmation. I think it was maybe the third ritual for that month. It was the language of success ritual. Now, that ritual was supposed to be a ritual that would assist and guide you with speaking the right language when it comes to closing business deals or having business conversations with other people. Um, and also, it was supposed to help you grow your social media. Being that I was focused on building my public figure brand as Lavette Men. I was the brand educator at that time, the family brand educator at that time. So I was like, okay, this is a good ritual for me. Now mind you, we're moving into the third ritual, so I'm a little antsy because I'm like, man, I don't want to go through that depletion of energy, phase again. So I was a little nervous about it because I mean, you don't know what it feels like when you have no energy and it feels like it's being sucked away from you. That's a feeling. Ugh, if you've gone through it, you know what I mean. So, but I was looking forward to the ritual itself because I wanted to see what the results would be. Okay, the day came, the ritual was happening. Um, of course, I went through that whole little phase of not having energy that day. Gave my ancestors a glass of fresh water, immediately felt a boost that perked me up. The very next day after that ritual, not the next week, not 5 days later, the very next day after that ritual, Emme Rain gets on a live video crying. Everyone's tuning in like, what's going on? And this heifer had the nerve to announce that she had just closed a $2 million deal or $2 million sponsorship, something to that effect. But I remember the $2 million figure. And when she announced it, my head cocked to the side, and I immediately knew, yeah, this some bullshit. And I was able to connect the dots. I said, there's a reason why I was feeling so fucking drained. This lady was pulling and pulling, not just me, but everyone that participated in that ritual. And I know I'm speaking on everyone's behalf, okay? Not vouching for anyone, but I know I'm speaking on everyone's behalf because if I was feeling drained like that, everyone else was being pulled on as well. That was the whole purpose and the intention behind that ritual, to pull on all of the energy that she needed in order to close that deal. So you mean to tell me the very next day? Now, mind you, remember I said it was called the language of success. And the intention of it was to speak the language of success as it pertains to closing business deals. And what happened the very next day? She closed a business deal in the amount of $2 million. And I think it has something to do with her show. It has something to do with something. All I know, it was a $2 million deal that she closed. Okay. Now, that was it for me. I said, how many more motherfucking rituals do we have for this month? Because after this is it. And I think there was one more ritual after that. I can't even remember. I can't remember it because I was over it at that point. So I don't know the name of it, the purpose, the intention for that last ritual. But I think there was a total of 4 rituals for the month of August. And that third one, that language of success, had me spent. All right. So I stopped participating in rituals. Like it was no more rituals for me. But I did continue to purchase the oils, which I will say, in all honest truth, none of those oils helped me with anything. Nothing like none of those oils. I really cannot think back to a time where a particular oil I used brought about the results that the oil was intended for. I no. Mm-mm. Any and everything that I have manifested was purely and solely from my energy, my intention. What I will say is the oils helped me to focus on a specific intention, which are what oils do. Oils, our incense, our candles, especially the intention candles, they're just tools that help us to focus and hold on to an intention. Okay. But the power comes from within. The power comes from the beliefs. The power comes from the inner work that we do. Okay. So I honestly cannot say that those oils have done anything for me outside of giving her permission and access to my life, to my domain. You know, it invited her into my domain so that she was able to spy, she was able to harness and siphon energy. We'll talk about that in another video. But honestly, that's all those rituals and those oils did. Okay. So let's fast forward a little bit. Let's just jump to 2020. Um, so mind you, I had been purchasing oils. Like I just talked about, I did participate in some rituals, and all of this was in 2019. So this was me first being over there in the community. Now you'll notice when I talk about her community, I'll say I was over there because I don't like saying that I was a part of the community. Okay. But when I was over there in the community, I was more in the background because it really was all about me being on my journey, me healing, and also me building my business as well. I did take her legacy builders class. Um, and it's centered around business. And so a lot of the courses that I did take, they were either centered around business, or it was centered around just personal development, spiritual personal development. I'll put it in those words. So fast forward to 2020. Some of the contracts that I had, they ceased because we had hit the height of the pandemic. And I was like, oh my God, okay, I don't have any contracts right now. What am I going to do? And then I just heard, hey, just go ahead, do some live videos and start teaching on business, branding, and marketing. So I did that. I put together a 5-day campaign, and I was teaching on those 3 topics. Of course, that first day, no engagement, but by that Friday, oh yeah, I was popping. Okay. The engagement was really good. I had 2 people reach out to me, ask me if I had any services. I didn't at that time, but I put something together, and that birthed my brand audits. The first 2 people I did the brand audits for, they were very satisfied. They made public reviews. They tagged me in the review. And that brought on more people that booked the brand audits. Okay. Now, mind you, I was already a part of the community. So I had already connected as far as like becoming Facebook friends with people from that community. They were not my target audience, but they were the first to support me in droves. So I really appreciate that. So because of that, I found my way being over there in that community and helping a lot of people in that community, to help them build their businesses. You know what I mean? Like auditing their brands and, helping them with their ideas, helping them bring their ideas to fruition. Like I, um, I had a really big footprint with doing that in the community. I became known for that. Now, I'm not the only person, but I was one of the people that was well known for being the go to person when it comes to branding and business. Okay. Um, and she saw that. She saw that because, of course, it's her community. A lot of the people that, let's be honest, it's really a coven. We're just going to call it what it is. It's really a coven. Okay. So No one belongs to no one, right? We're all our own individuals. But when you develop like an obsessive relationship with a person and you follow them and you literally worship them, it's a different level of being a stan, a different level of fandom. So it was her people. So she caught wind of who I was and she started plotting. She started strategizing. Okay. Now, for me, I was naive about the whole situation. I was like, oh, she really, she sees me. She really likes me. I remember one time she went live and she was like, Levette Man has a raw ass brand. She has a nice brand. So that told me she did her research. So again, me being naive and thinking of the situation innocently, um, I'm like, oh my God, she sees me. She likes my work. She likes, she likes what I'm building. But all along she really was playing chess and she was strategizing. So that went from her noticing me to extending an invite for me to be a part of her Legacy Builders 2020 group because I had already paid to be in the 2019 Legacy Builders, but for 2020 she actually invited me, and then she reached out again and she asked me um, if I wanted to be a speaker um, at the Expo. And it was supposed to happen in 2020, but because of COVID, it was rescheduled to 2021. Okay. So that's how I became a part of that community. She started shouting me out, which again was a little odd to me because I remember several times she would say in her live videos that the only people that she supported when it comes to, people with businesses, the only ones that she supported, the only ones that she would shout out were her apprentices. I wasn't an apprentice. I was never an apprentice, but she shouted me out a lot. Okay. And again, that was a strategy to take me down eventually, right? And we're going to get into that. So, and everything that I'm sharing, when I get to, I think I have to get to 50 subscribers, and then I'll be able to live stream directly on YouTube. And then that way I'll share all of the receipts that I have. I have a lot of receipts that I would like to share that will corroborate my story. Um, and I'll do that as soon as I'm able to. Okay. So, and you know what? I think I'm going to break this story down into two parts. This is part one, and then I'll finish it up in part two because I don't want to make these videos too long. Okay. Because I actually need the space on my phone. So, yeah, invited me to speak, invited me into her 2020 Legacy Builders group, shouting me out. Hey, if you need any help with your business, go to Levette Men, sending all of her people to me. Most of the people that came to me were apprentices. Again, I found myself being like one of the only ones, if not the only one, that wasn't an apprentice. So that was a little odd to me as well. There were a few things that were odd and I side eyed, but I was also in a place or in a space where I was healing. Um, Different parts of me where I would self sabotage, where I would create these false narratives, these false mental narratives, and that would lead to a manifestation of falling out with people, self sabotaging. So that was something I really wanted to heal from. So when I did get those moments that caused me to side eye it, I would overlook it because I'm like, okay, here you go again, trying to self sabotage, right? But all along, my intuition was right. My intuition was right. It was spot the fuck on. Okay. So, it's all good. Then fast forward to 2021, the expo. And that's when everything started to go downhill. So I am going to pause right here. Part two, we're going to pick up where I'm leaving off right now, which is at the expo that took place in August of 2021. All right, so let's go ahead and end it right here. Yeah. So this is my story. This is my truth. Emme Rain, you have gone live on me really more than 2 times, let's be honest. But there were a few times you didn't call out my name, but you and I know that you were talking about me. So this is my response to you. This is my response to you slandering my name. This is my response to you trying to bully me. This is my response to you trying to instill fear in me. I'm not afraid of you, like I told you before. I'm not afraid of you. It's up. It's up. You wanted a response. Now you're going to get it. Now I am going to fully expose you. I am going to expose you in ways you didn't even think you would be exposed. You can't there's not enough cloaking that you can put on yourself to hide yourself, not from me. All right, I'll be back with part 2 soon.
I don't know what you want from me. It's like you playing a game of Bloody Mary or something. But here I go. Here I go.
Zeno, you killing it.
Emme Rain. Such a shame I gotta do this to you, but you keep poking and prying, so I'ma give it to you. Anytime I see you, know what's up with me. Why you keep on calling my name? What you want from me? Could it be the fortune and fame you gain from energy? A predator is who you be, unbind those energies so we can see that you really weak. Tell your minions stand down, they don't really want this heat. Tell them that this war that we in, it's just you and me. All those curses flow from your grin, I speak it fluently. Talking about what you gon' do to me, I violate you intrusively. Pay your damn bill, that tax lien is waiting patiently. Get the gab is all we see, foot on neck so you can't breathe. Bet you didn't know I was a beast when I ride the beat. Standing 10 toes down in my lane, I don't know defeat. Now I'm calling my energy back to me happily, but actually the savage me is ready for a massacre. Just in case you was confused, that was a wordplay on massacre. Yeah. You wanna keep going back and forth? Round for round? Pound for pound, let's go, or stand down. You unleashed the beast. First lady.